Yo. Hello. I was true to my blah blah. God damn it. Rewind. I was true to my word. I did return on Tuesday. I need to rearrange my windows again. This is how we do it. We have a stream preview. It seems like everything's working. So that's good. I shared my stream. Yeah. Here we go. I think I can just move on. Oh yeah, right. Refinery. The problem is, I forgot what we wanted to do. Can I look at the text log? No, I mean that makes sense. I think we wanted to go somewhere, but I don't know. Area Steelman, Prince Esther. Alright, the manor. That's a new location. Let's go there. So, this is Von Sanctus's house. It'd be more appropriate to call this building a palace rather than a house. Hello, Acheron. I was true to my word. I am live on Tuesday at 6 p.m. So, I did that. I'm proud of me. I say that like 3 minutes into the stream, but I mean, we won't have any technical difficulties today, right? Also, you haven't missed anything yet. I was just confused on where to go, and then I remembered that we have a new location to go, and this is where we are. Oh man. Also, Akron, have you seen the thumbnail for the third Cuthbert stream? Yeah, I don't know. I just had fun with that. How is this game, by the way? I'm interested in playing it sometime. Hope you're doing well. Hi, Lozo. Hope you're doing well, too. It's actually really fun so far. I've heard that the fourth case is gonna be, like, really great. But we are still at the third one, and, yeah, it's fun. It's nice. It's a good game. It is very Ace Attorney-like. What's that smell? As you head further into the manor, we're hit with a very pungent and sour odor. It almost burns the interior of your nostrils every time you inhale. Well, we're here. You look around the manor and don't see anyone nearby. More love for female dogs. True. So true. I don't know why. You know what? In the last stream when I was like, his face reminds me of something, I'm pretty sure it was just the Megamind meme. So that's why I did that. Like, after the stream I was like, wait, he kind of looks like the Megamind no bitches meme. But it's, like, the funny thing is, I made a normal thumbnail with, like, Mosarika on it or something. Like, kind of generic like the other ones. And then I made the no bitches one, and I was like, which one should I choose? It's pretty tough, and yeah. Huh. It looks like Lord Sanctus isn't home at the moment. Perhaps we should try looking somewhere else. God damn it. Are you home? She is not home. Where are we? Now I don't know where to go. Oh. There he is. Oh god, wait, what was his voice again? It was literally just... literally 2 days ago, and I already forgot. 3 days ago. We must let such idealistic nonsense throw our nations to chaos! You arrive at the town square and see Lord Von Sanctus speaking to several spectators from a podium. There's Lord Von Sanctus. He appears to be giving some sort of speech. You do your best to remain hidden from his view while you listen in. Please understand, the actions of the nobility seem callous. However, we only have your best interests at heart. Yeah, I'm gonna believe that. The controversy with the Dracogan Trading Company is just one of the many examples. These so-called unions that men like him support may seem appealing, but they only obfuscate and hinder the nobility from protecting the working class. Men like Stefanik Drakogan are merely charlatans. They only seek financial gain by strong-arming your true benefactors. Hi, perpetually tired. I mean, you're only like a few minutes late. It's fine. True benefactors. What a joke. Also, Acheron. Okay. You know what I also realized? I literally realized this morning. I could, like, instead of the no bitches thumbnail, I could have just used the screenshot where Celeste and Tyrion were holding hands, you know, like as a kind of clickbaity thumbnail. And then I was like, well, it's too late now. I already scheduled it. Also, the no bitches one is definitely better. I knew that Von Sanctus was wary of Drakogan, but I never expected him to be this zealous about getting rid of him. I think it's less about Drakogan specifically, and more about what he represents. What do you mean? The Drakogan Trading Company has presented tangible proof that its policies are both effective and profitable. What do you mean, oh bitch? Have you not seen the have you not seen the thumbnail of the third stream? The thing is, I originally wanted to publish the VOD for that on this Saturday, but then I was like, well, why not just post it on Monday? So I did publish that one, but it had like the thumbnail was like the guy. Wait, what was his name? Drakogan, right? It was just him and the capture no bitches. I was very proud of myself for that one. Also, never let me use the liquefier tool. This is what happens. Even businesses that have no affiliation with him have started following his example. Von Sanctus is merely a relic of the past, and I think he knows that his archaic ideals won't survive in this landscape. I can only hope that our grand kingdom recognizes this danger as I have. The pompous noble leaves the podium as the citizens ponder his words. What a load of garbage. It's obvious that Von Sanctus knows his days are numbered. But look at what happened. We let the common folks have their own stand as a young man died. I guess I have a point. You have a point there. Oh god, my voice. You saw Von Sanctus get into a carriage shortly after the speech. It appears to be heading back to his manor. So we can follow him now. Oh. I can't believe that people are agreeing with what Von Sanctus said. I hate it. Some people just eat up whatever lies the nobility gives them. It is unfortunate, but once you solve this case, the truth will come to light. I know for certain that they'll see Von Sanctus as the con artist that he is. That's a bit too optimistic. It's never bad to have at least some optimism, I guess. Where should we go next, Tyrion? Lord Von Sanctus was giving a speech to the townsfolk here. After he was done, he got into a carriage and drove back to his manor. We should be able to find him there. Even if he's our opponent, we should try to get as much information out of him as possible. Well, and this is what we're gonna do. We moved there, but a little bit too early, like, whoops. Anyways, we saw Von Sanctus heading back here. We should be able to speak with him soon. Wait, Tyrion, isn't he going to recognize us? We can't really avoid that. If we want to question him, we need to speak to him directly. But even a noble like him would have to act civilly with a crown prince present. You mean like how you civilly embarrassed and insulted him a few days ago? Right, you completely forgot about that chess tournament. Yeah, that's a rip, man. Well, it's not as if we can hide our identities from him. I faced him in the chess tournament and I'm Drakogan's attorney. He knows what we look like. What do we look like? Wait, that's it! What? Illusion! Wait, what are you? Wow, that's quite impressive, Celeste. Right? I've been practicing that one. What are you two talking about? I think you should see for yourself. The prince gestures towards a nearby mirror in the hallway. You reluctantly approach it. Just what exactly did Celeste do to you? What? Why do I look like Riz Rudolph? Oh my god, that guy. Fuck. What voice did I give him? I think I'm just gonna stick to my normal voice, but okay, that's actually pretty good. It looks great, right? Eris taught me that one. Oh, not her. Do you honestly expect him to fall for this? He's probably a powerful mage. He'll see right through this. Are you telling me that the Crown Prince is here? Why didn't you notify me sooner? You hear Von Sanctus shouting at his attendant from down the hallway. He seems to be quickly heading this way. Uh-oh. You might want to disguise yourself as well, Celeste. Don't encourage her. This is extremely illegal. Right, look, you should just dispel this ridiculous disguise and... He's almost here. Ah, I can't think of anyone. I'm terribly sorry for keeping your highness waiting. Illusion. She's just gone. Huh? What was that? What are you talking about? I could have sworn that I heard something. Okay, I didn't hear anything either. You must be imagining things. Scared Lord help us. Of all the people she could have chosen. Well, at least she's able to mimic her voice well enough. Oh, Lady Steelwood, I wasn't expecting you until much later. Well, I do not answer to you. I shall do as I shall please. Yes, I suppose you have a habit of doing that. Surprisingly, it doesn't look like he's seen through your disguises. Our acting is just on point. He must have other things on his mind if his guard is down like this. Anyway, Lord Von Sanctus, pardon the abrupt intrusion. I came by to pay my respects. I am honored by your Majesty's presence. Unfortunately, I am quite busy with administrative matters at the moment. Too busy to show hospitality to the heir to the throne? Oh, I wasn't... I suppose I have some time to speak with you. The conditions aren't ideal, but at least you have Von Sanctus here with you. You should let Prince Asta make small talk with him for a bit. After that, you can subtly bring up the Von Sanctus crest that you found in the vat. In the trial. I heard that the charges that you've brought against the... I've heard? Oh, god damn it, I can't read. Why did I do that? I heard about the charges that you've brought against the Dragon Trading Company. Forgive my bluntness, but is everything well with your estate? Oh, that... I am simply cleaning house, nothing more. I've dealt with plenty of men like Dragon before, and this time will be no different. I understand that he may be taking business away from you, but does that really warrant you taking such drastic measures? It's not just about his business, it's these ideas that he's putting into people's heads. He's allowed these unions to continue existing. And other businesses are following his example. It's absolutely absurd. It's as if the entire world has gone mad. I see. Our society only functions when the lower class knows their place. If that's how our society functions, then perhaps it's flawed. Oh? You're still young, Prince Asta. These righteous ideals may sound appealing, but they are the path to disorder. The common folk do not care about the well-being of our kingdom as a whole. They only care about themselves individually. If we allow them to become empowered, they will use their power selfishly. It is up to the upper class to maintain that order. I see. Oh, he is a pleasant guy. And by the way, I'm surprised that you're representing Lord Von Sanctus, Lady Steelwind. Oh, right. What is he doing? It's already hard enough to maintain this ruse. I knew that he recently became a prosecutor, but I never imagined that he'd represent a noble. Don't get ahead of yourself, Asta. What does that even mean? Let's not be coy, Lady Steelwind. If you must know, Your Majesty, both Steelwind and I came to an arrangement. The fair lady is so keen on wasting her talents on civil work. Given that, I might as well utilize her to my benefit. Do not speak to her like that. Oh, I meant no disrespect. But rest assured, this is only temporary. I see. So you have an arrangement with Lucius Steelwind. It seems that Asta's collecting his own information. Damn, everyone is just reading each other's minds, just playing mind games. By the way, Lord von Sanctus, have any of your attendants gone missing lately? That's an oddly specific question. But no, all of my attendants are accounted for. You don't see any dissonant thoughts from the eye. But he could be unconsciously shielding himself from it. I must ask, why would you ask such a question? You see, I actually found a discarded trinket while walking around the city. It had the crest of House von Sanctus on it. I was worried that something unsavory might have happened to one of your people. Oh, I see. I suppose you must be on edge after what happened to your ship. However, items with the von Sanctus crest are quite common nowadays. Really? The item that you found must have been a product produced by von Sanctus Industries. An item produced by von Sanctus Industries? So the von Sanctus crest is on some of the items produced by your company. Not just some of the items. The von Sanctus crest is engraved on every product created by von Sanctus Industries. As a result, people have come to associate the quality of our products with the quality of House von Sanctus. Or at least they did, until hacks like Dracagon came out of the woodwork. So in other words, it's just branding. Well, what type of products does von Sanctus Industry produce? We used to produce magical accessories for mages, but now we produce all manner of products. As the head of commerce in our kingdom, we've diversified our holdings. Oh. That means the metal shard could have come from anything. Von Sanctus Industry places its crest on all of its products, therefore the shard could have potentially come from a product produced by von Sanctus Industries. Gotta love that sentence. Just say that 3 times fast. This line of questioning led to a dead end. Damn it, is it really impossible to identify where that shard came from? Do you sell your products to the Dracagon Trading Company? Yes, of course I do. Despite my misgivings with Dracagon, it would be foolish of me if I didn't do business with them. And that means there are von Sanctus products in the Arcane refinery. Von Siegs or von Sanctus, yeah. Although, his name was Von Siegs, not von Siegs. I feel like the way I said that sounds literally the same, like fun versus fun, but also I can't. I know that, like, it's so bad. I've been thinking about this after the streams, how German I've been pronouncing the names, also like Asta and not like Esther. But I'm like, should I just pronounce? I mean, those are fantasy names anyway, so I could just pronounce them like whatever I want, right? Like, well, I shouldn't just care about that randomly, right? You're called von Sanctus Industries, after all. That's true. The metal shard could have been from some sort of industrial tool. Just what are you implying, Lady Steelwind? A twinge of nervousness with the eye? Does he know something? Why would he get so defensive over a question like that? Was there a von Sanctus product in the refinery on the night of the murder? She misspoke and said murder instead of accident. But that is evoking a reaction. Answer the question, Fawn! Celeste attempts to loudly slam the tip of her cane on the ground, only to realize that her cane isn't actually real. Oops. She loses her balance and tips over a nearby vase. God damn it, we were so close. The vase shatters on the ground, creating quite a mess of broken shards and water. Lady Steelwind, are you okay? Celeste immediately regains her balance and tries to act as if nothing happened. I'm not paying for that. Good one. Ah! Lord von Sanctus completely loses his composure and recoils at the sight of the broken vase. Construct, I require your assistance. Acknowledged. In response to von Sanctus's call, an arcane construct walks out from the nearby closet. Construct, clean up this mess at once. He seems very disturbed by the mess. Is he some sort of clean freak? Acknowledged. The construct begins quickly picking up the shards of a broken vase. You own an arcane construct? I do, but Sanctus Industries is the inventor of arcane constructs after all. Right, you recall Celeste mentioning that earlier. Would you like one, Your Highness? My apologies, I'm not very interested in using artificery. Suit yourself. Okay. In any case, I'm afraid Lady Steelwind must be taking her leave now. What? Remember, you said that you could only accompany me for 1 hour. It's close to being 1 hour, right, Lady Steelwind? What are you? Oh, right, 1 hour. It would definitely not be good for us to be here for more than 1 hour. Oh, does this illusion only last for 1 hour? In the meantime, may I discuss some personal matters with you, Lord von Sanctus? Of course! I'm at your disposal, Your Majesty! He raised an eyebrow at the prince. It appears that he didn't come here just to help you. But you suppose that you've gotten all of the information you need out of von Sanctus. It's time to move to the next lead. Okay, who's gonna bet? Okay, I feel like this is very out of pocket, but like, I feel like Asta has like a 50-50 chance of surviving this game. You know? He's like the good royalty, like, or like the one who wants to have change and like wants to empower the lower class people. Like, either he could have a happy ending and like be like the new king or whatever, or he gets murdered. I'm calling it. That was embarrassing. Yeah, that was a bit too close for comfort. Good royalty. You know what I mean, Acheron? Like, right? He was like, yeah, don't treat people like shit, empower the common folk or whatever. Right. I know there's no good royalty, but yeah. He either gets murdered or is the main villain. I don't know. Maybe that no, you know what? The main villain is Eris, like the creepy girl from the last stream. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Essa could be someone kind of good natured, although I guess he did pretend to be a common folk person and like disguise the fact that he was a prince, but I don't know. My bet is still on either a happy ending or a murder. I feel like she is just a pawn. I mean, she literally caused like the weird glitches. Or the right hand of the main evil. I mean, that could be true, but like, on the other hand, she's like literally rewriting like the game and like making people do stuff they wouldn't. So like, I don't know, man. And she's very creepy. But yeah, I mean, it could be, I could see there being another villain or like a main villain or like a twist villain or something, but I don't know. She feels pretty powerful. Ah, are you an attendant here? Please notify Lord von Sanctus that The real Arya Steelwind walks through the front door of the manor just as you are about to exit. Oh. She immediately drops in her tracks upon meeting her doppelganger. Apurio. With one spell, Steelwind displays the illusions over you and Celeste. Oops. Upon seeing who you really are, she lets out an irritated sigh. Is impersonating the Steelwind some kind of hobby for you, Miss McCoy? She looks really angry this time. No, there's a really good reason for doing this. Let me guess, you wanted to interrogate von Sanctus without him knowing who you really are? No? Lying about your name is one matter, but impersonating a noble using magic is a serious crime. Tyrion, help please? Are you seriously going to have to defend her in court again? Is she the Maya Fey of this game? You quickly try to think of a way to defuse the situation. Oh, sorry for the wait, you two. I had to discuss... Lady Steelwind? Great. According to Asta, Steelwind despises him. Knowing that he was part of this will just make things worse. I knew it. Oh, I see here. I knew it. She's just shy. I knew it. I called it. I mean, that wasn't hard, but yeah. Your Majesty. Huh? What? Oh, I see. You've dispelled the disguises. You know about this? as if between you and Siobhan, it seems that he's trying to calm her down. For better or for worse, her attention is firmly focused on him. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect you. No, that's not why he's really close. They pulled this ruse under my orders. Could you please look the other way? Just this once? Okay. Thank you, Lady Siobhan. I won't forget this. I need to go. Well, that was certainly something. I'm sorry you had to see that. What? It's as I said before. She absolutely detests me. God damn it. You saw it, didn't you? She could barely look me in the eye. You know, Akron, I feel like this proves your theory of him being the main villain, because they're gonna have like a romance kind of thing, right? You know? Oh my god. In any case, we're starting to run out of time. We should head back to the refinery. But we still don't know where the metal shard came from. From what Von Sanctus told us, I don't think we can find out exactly where it came from. If each of Von Sanctus's products has that crest, it could be any number of things. Love. Also, wait, is the chat not on screen? Oh, it is. Never mind. It was just not on screen in my preview. Okay. I was just... I was scared for a second. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's interesting. Sorry, I just got distracted. I got distracted by the chat. Or more like YouTube. But hopefully Drakugan can help us narrow that list down. If it did come from some kind of industrial tool, he might be able to check if any of the refinery tools are missing. We just hope he can provide you with some kind of lead. Refinery. Oh no! Don't look at me like that, please. Now I can't unsee it. You know, I wasn't sure in the last stream and now I just can't unsee it. Hello again, Mr. Cuthbert. I hope you have good news. Well, actually... You take some time to explain to Drakugan what you found during your investigation. You're still uncertain about the identity of the second victim. That metal shard with the Von Sanctus crest is your best lead right now. I see. With that said, do you have any tools that you've purchased from Von Sanctus Industries? I do. He personally sold me quite a few when I first arrived in the city. I even purchased the security system for the refinery building from him. That sounds sus. Really? Did you purchase anything else from him? Well, he also tried to sell me some of those arcane constructs. He told me I could be the first person in Arnex to own such innovative technology. But I turned him down. Really? But they seem so useful. I don't feel comfortable trusting machines to handle the work here. Those constructs require very specific instructions, and they lack common sense. And that's true. We saw how unreliable they could be during the Nightgrave case. He heavily emphasized how exclusive this deal would be for me. Looking back on it, he was probably trying to make me dependent on his services. Yeah, I guess he made the right choice by refusing his offer. I got products from Von Sanctus. Lloyd Von Sanctus personally sold several industrial tools to Stephanie Drakugan on behalf of Von Sanctus Industries. A lot of these tools were present in the Arcane refinery. Von Sanctus Industry also created the security system for the refinery. Von Sanctus attempted to sell Drakugan a few arcane constructs, a product that is not available to anyone else in Oranax. However, Stefanik Drakugan did not trust the construct's ability to perform tasks effectively. He did not purchase any. I feel like that's gonna be relevant because that was my theory before, but I didn't say it, so I don't know if that counts. But I think it's an arcane construct that just fell in there because those are like huge and all metal, so they would probably like dissolve at the same speed as a human body, right? So that would make sense. Anyways, have any of the tools from Von Sanctus Industries been reported missing? The Inquisition actually asked me the same question, so I took some time today to check my inventory. Why did the Inquisition ask him for that? Did Steelman come to the same conclusion that you did? There was one tool that was unaccounted for. Really? What kind of tool was it? A rod of mending. It's a large tool that we use to repair damage in the machines. A tool for repairs? How large was it? Quite large, actually. Never mind, maybe my theories are already disproven. It's called a rod, but it's more of a large cylindrical tool. It requires 2 people to properly carry and use it. Wait, a repair tool like that would use transportation magic, right? That's right. What if the rod of mending was the thing that weakened the guardrail? Is that possible, Dracogen? I suppose that is possible. Now that you mention it, I recall there being a way to reverse its effects. You never even considered that the transportation traces were left by an artificial tool. That does lift some suspicion off of Asa. Rod of mending. An artificial tool that channels transmutation magic to repair objects. It's possible to reverse its magic and cause it to weaken objects instead of repairing them. It's quite large and requires 2 people to properly carry it and use it. Okay, that could have just... I guess then they got rid of the evidence? But wait, did they say that it was a Fon Sanctus tool, or was that his own tool? Someone could have sabotaged the rail with a rod, and they might have thrown it in the vat to cover the tracks. But it didn't completely dissolve. That would mean that they threw the rod in close to when Justin fell off of the walkway. It can't be a coincidence that these 2 events happened so close to each other. And we still have no idea who actually broke the guardrail. We didn't find a second body in the vat, and we don't have evidence that proves the second victim even exists. I feel as if we have more questions than answers at the moment. We've learned a few new facts about the case, though. And the Inquisition has verified the traces of transmutation magic on the guardrail. The burden of proof is still on the prosecution to prove that Dracogen is at fault. Even if Sylvan has a proper explanation for that, I can counter her with the facts we've learned thus far. I just hope that the trial goes as smoothly as you're describing. It rarely ever does, but knowing that would just needlessly stress him out. Regardless, I appreciate the work that you've done thus far. I leave things in your very capable hands. You just hope that you don't encounter any more curveballs tomorrow. And I hope that I stop burping. Let's go to the new save, because yes. Port time, baby! Bonk. Court is now resumed for the trial of Stefanek Dracogen. Let us review the proceedings from 2 days ago. At first, the facts of the case seem very straightforward. The victim, Justin Way, put his weight on a poorly maintained guardrail on the refinery grounds. Said guardrail broke, causing Justin Way to fall to his death. However, the defense presented a shocking piece of evidence in the previous proceedings. The traces of transmutation magic were found on that same broken guardrail. This new evidence implies that sabotage, if not outright foul play, played part in the death of the victim. This evidence is also accompanied by conflicting testimonies from witnesses. All of these elements have thrown quite some doubt on the validity of the prosecution's case. Yes, however, the prosecution maintains that the Dracogen Trading Company is at fault for Justin Ray's death. Even though someone may have sabotaged the guardrails, the prosecution acknowledges that sabotage may have occurred at the scene of the accident. However, we also believe that there are several factors in this case that the court is overlooking. As we all know, several witnesses were present at the refinery at the time of the accident. The harbor master was showing a patron around the refinery. Mosarika Tudor was making a food delivery and entered the building. And of course, the victim, Justin Wade, was obviously present as well. Each and every one of these people had no business being in the refinery that night. In the case of the harbor master and his patron, it would be hardly reasonable for anyone to stop them. You doubt anyone would stand in the way of the Crown Prince? That may be, but Justin Way worked in the freight division and should not have been at the scene. I've already verified this with my client. The victim was not authorized to be in the refinery building. And who stopped Justin Way from entering the area unauthorized? Isn't it the defendant's duty to prevent such individuals from entering the building? My client can't be held responsible for Justin's breach of the set protocols. And you surely can't hold my client responsible for someone sabotaging the guardrail. This so-called sabotage is only theoretical until a proper culprit is found. I might be compelled to agree with you, Miss Steelwind. Really? After all, there's no hard evidence that proves the traces of transmutation were left by a specific spell. Okay, that would be true. God damn it. What kind of mental gymnastics is that? Every part of the guardrail that had traces on it was rusted. They're bending the context of what happened to suit their purposes. Hard evidence means everything here, and the rod of mending has been reduced to shards in the vat. Without the complete rod, you can't prove that someone used it to sabotage the guardrail. Regardless, it is not the responsibility of the Dracogan Trading Company to... Is it not the responsibility of the Dracogan Trading Company to ensure that its employees do not wander into restricted areas? Blaming a potential saboteur puts the cart before the horse. It doesn't just stop with Justin Way either. Why was Mosarika Tudor able to enter the building? She doesn't even work for the refinery, yet she was able to waltz into the building without any trouble. Actually, Steelwind does have a point about Rika. Oops. Shouldn't something have stopped her from entering that area? You doubt that Dracogan would show that kind of negligence. If that's true, I believe that we should hear from Miss Tudor directly. Let's hear how easily she gained access to the refinery of the day of the accident. We've already anticipated that. Mosarika Tudor is prepared and ready to testify. Very well then. Bailiff, please escort Miss Tudor to the stand. Oh god, I forgot her voice. She kind of didn't have a consistent voice, didn't she? Miss Tudor, are you aware of why you've been called here today? Yeah, I heard everything from the gallery. Then you have no problem answering the following question. Did you encounter resistance when you entered the refinery the night of the accident? Witness, may I remind you that you are under oath to tell the court everything that you know. Failure to do so is a crime. No one tried to stop me. Sorry, Tyrion. You have nothing to apologize for, witness. The only one at fault is the Dracogan Trading Company for their negligence. Hey, that's... For the record, please testify in detail about how you entered the refinery that day, Miss Tudor. Okay. I'm gonna be like, but the security system was from Font Sanctus, so technically it wasn't our fault, right? That day I was looking for Justin in the freight area, but I couldn't find him. I decided to look for him in the refinery's main building. There was some kind of magical door leading into it, but it was unlocked. Nothing really stopped me from entering the refinery building. As the court can clearly see, there was no safeguards preventing the witness from entering that restricted area. The witness clearly stated that there was a magical door leading into the building. This was obviously some sort of security door powered by artificery, which was still unlocked and effectively useless. Damn it, there must be a way to prove that the unlocked door wasn't Dracogan's fault. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. Or we could be like, oh yeah, but just a way, just trying to break in. You were there to deliver him his dinner, correct? I completely read that wrong, but there was kind of the right sentence, so we'll roll that. Yeah, he was usually in the freight area around that time. I was surprised when I didn't see him there. I was a little worried, so I said to look for him in the refinery manual. It seems strange that you go looking for him. Why not just leave his food with one of his co-workers? I thought of that, but I also wanted to make sure that he was okay. I was the one that helped him get his job in the first place. It wouldn't look good if you left her in the middle of a shift. How did you enter the refinery building, Miss Tudor? Some kind of magical door. By magical door, do you mean that it was a door powered by artificery? Yeah, I have a door like that in my restaurant too. But this one looked a lot more complex. Why would you or Dracogan need magical doors anyways? The one in my cafe magically locks the shop when I close it for the day. Oh, that's convenient. I guess the door to the refinery building was for the same thing. But that means that there was a mechanism to keep out unauthorized personnel, which was effectively useless. The witness entered the refinery and encountered zero resistance. Furthermore, the Inquisition has already logged the specs for the door. Magical door. The only entrance to the refinery building is a door with an artificial lock. Magical keys can be used to unlock the door for 5 seconds. After these 5 seconds, the lock automatically closes the door and engages the lock. The lock can only be disabled by Stephanie Gregogan. The door could be physically prevented from closing, but this would trigger an alarm within the refinery security system. Did you use a key to unlock the door, Miss Tudor? No, I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna bet. The security system was off because it was from Von Sanctus. And he just jammed the door to keep it open. As you can see from this report, Stephanie Gregogan was the only person capable of disabling the lock. I guess Mr. Gregogan kept the door unlocked during work hours. This means that it is entirely Gregogan's fault that the victim gained access to the building in the first place. Wait, that's not what I meant to... But that is what you implied. Unless you can prove that another person disabled that door. You can't refute that statement yet. But you might be able to work with this new information. Regardless, please add that last statement to your testimony, witness. Alright. Mr. Drager must have disabled the lock, no one else could have disabled it. That's quite the leap in logic. The specs of the door state that the lock can only be disabled by Stephanie Gregogan. Sorry, but I can't think of any other reason why it would be disabled. I mean, I get it. Sometimes I forget the key to my shop. It becomes a real headache when I get locked out. You suppose that makes sense, but would Dragogan really do something like that? The lock is designed to be disabled only by a Dragogan. But perhaps someone did something to bypass that. Nothing will stop me from entering the building. Are you sure you're not forgetting any obstacles that you encountered? No, I would have remembered something like that. If someone told me that I wasn't supposed to be there, I would have just left. She seems sincere about that. It was probably an honest mistake. Rika didn't even realize that she entered a restricted area. But the fact she was able to enter it so easily is definitely strange. Dragogan must have had precautions to prevent such a thing from happening. Maybe the employees got lazy and disabled the lock against his orders. It's possible, but would Dragogan really allow something like that to happen? No. Lock, no one could disable it. Wait, that was what? Must have disabled the lock. Oh yeah, we still have this guy. Why do we have this guy? Oh yeah, because the victim was owing him money. So no, with the first lock for 5 seconds. Now the question is, how do we say what I want to say? Oh, that's the typical Ace Attorney question. Could physically be prevented from closing. Not just good. They did not purchase any. There's the metallic shards, neutralizing liquid. Prison fish. Okay, that was that. Everyone is alive except for the guy that died. He tried to rob this guy. Being a safe plug into it, they could disable mundane magical locks. So, objection! Yeah. Okay. Miss Steelwood, you claim that my client expressed negligence by disabling the door. This is the reason why the security door was unlocked, and why the current witness was able to enter the building. That's correct. Your client's negligence allowed unauthorized persons like Justin Wade to gain access to the building. And regardless of any sabotage, Justin Wade died because he was in said unauthorized area. And what if I told you that another person may have disabled the door? Not because of laziness, but for more nefarious purposes. What are you talking about? If you recall, the witness entered the refinery building and spotted Justin Wade afterward. This means that Justin Wade entered the building before her. So that begs the question, how did Justin Wade enter the building? The answer's obvious. He entered the same way the witness did, through the unlocked door. Not quite, Miss Steelwind. Since this trial began, we still haven't answered why Dustin Way entered the refinery building in the first place. He entered the refinery building with the intent of robbing my client's personal safe. I already told you, Tyrion. He would never do something like that. You feel a little guilty about insulting a dead man's name like this, but it's the only possibility that makes sense. I'm sorry, Rika, but there are things about Justin that even you didn't know about. The truth is that he was deeply in debt to a crime lord named the Eye Taker, and he was extremely desperate to wipe that debt as soon as he could. Crime lord? I won't ask how you came across this information, Mr. Cuthbert, but what does this have to do with the disabled magical lock? Miss Stillwell, Justin owned a set of tools that he used for picking mundane and magical locks. The safe that he was planning to rob was located in my client's office within the refinery building. I have witnesses who saw Justin retrieve those tools shortly before the night of the accident. He clearly had a plan to disable any locks that stood between him and that safe. This means that it's entirely possible that Justin disabled the locked refinery door illegally. We're not actually going to bring them in, are we? Yeah, I'm kind of bluffing right now. Oops. You basically assaulted one of them. We both assaulted him, Tyrion. Great. She says as if that absolves her of any guilt. Hold on a minute. You can't just accuse him like that when he can't defend himself. I'm sorry, Rika, but his delinquent friends told me about his plan. He didn't want to rob Dracogon, but he needed the gold to wipe away his debt. If Justin wasn't the one that disabled the lock, that would only leave Dracogon. But there had to be an explanation when neither of them is guilty. She definitely believes in Justin. But a scenario both Justin and Dracogon innocent is too optimistic, if not impossible. But it's not as if you are entirely certain of what actually happened that day either. What if Von Sanctus hired Justin in order to crack open the door and like rob him? But what if he was the instigator? Alright, Rika, you knew Justin better than I did. Let us assume that you're correct. Neither Justin nor Dracogon disabled the lock that day. How did either of you enter the refinery then? Well, someone must have disabled it before then. Wait, let me think through this. Witness testimony. Oh, you're late. Don't worry, Dean. I was about to say Delvin and then Dem and then it was just ugh. Anyway, we are in the trial, so you missed a bit. I'm sorry. Plenty of people could have disabled the locks. Maybe one of the employees got lazy and forcefully broke it. There was also that nobleman who was with Mr. Morrison. He's a mage and he could have used magic to do it. Delvian. Oh, Delvin? Actually, he sounds kind of nice. You should think about that. I don't know why you should think about that. Don't mind me. It could have been one of the maintenance constructs. I saw one working on the machines. Maybe one of them broke the lock. Oh, we got him. He doesn't own constructs. We got him. I can barely even begin to point out all the issues with your theories, Miss Tudor. If you recall, the entrance lock can only be disabled by Stephanie Dracogon. Even Master Cuthbert's theory makes more sense than your list of suspects. She's right. It doesn't matter how many suspects she presents. None of them had the credentials to disable the lock. So why do you feel like there is something wrong with her testimony? Okay, new theory. So, Von Sanctus broke in. He used the construct to open the door. And then Justin saw him breaking in and just ran, or maybe he just saw like the door was open and he was like, wait, that's weird. So he went in after Von Sanctus and then he saw Von Sanctus like breaking in, I don't know, going for the safe or whatever, and then they killed him. And yeah, they threw him into the pod, and then they threw the arcane construct afterwards, and that's the other thing in the thing. In the bed. The thing in the thing. Phoenix, you have such a way with words. The defense would like to exercise the right to cross-examine the witness. What a waste of time. While the court agrees with Miss Steelwind, we also recognize Mr. Cuthbert's right to cross-examination. However, we will not allow the defense to waste the court's time. If nothing substantial is gained from your cross-examination, I will not hesitate to end it early. Wait, am I not allowed to press something? Understood, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Because in Ace Attorney, it's always a 50-50. Like, sometimes it's like, oh, you're not allowed to waste time, so if you press anything, it's instant game over. Or it's like, it doesn't matter at all, and you can just press everything the way you want. I'm just gonna save for good measure. But as I've said before, Darkigan was the only person able to legally disable the lock. And just in a way was the only person who had the skill set to disable it illegally. Well, how do you know that someone else didn't have tools like that, That's certainly possible, but unlikely. The ability to pick a magical lock seems like a rare skill for anyone to have. As far as you know, no one else was there unauthorized that day. Except for maybe Asta and Morrison and Von Sanctus. Maybe one of the priests got lazy and broke it. Steelwind, did the Inquisition find any evidence of physical tampering on the entrance lock? Not at all. Furthermore, if an employee had attempted what the witness is describing, it would have set off the refinery security system. Sorry, Rika. Well... There's also Nobleman, was it Morrison? What does she have to say about that? The Harbor Master's companion wouldn't have no reason to perform such an act. Your personal bias might be clouding your judgment, Miss Steelwind. This isn't merely an extrapolation based on his character, Mr. Cuthbert. The nobleman in question had the legal authority to enter the building. He wouldn't need to resort to such underhanded tactics. Right, as the Crown Prince, he could legally enter the Arcane refinery if he wanted to. That's kind of OP, why can't you just enter everything like that? In fact, that's probably how he entered in the first place. You would probably know that since you two seem so close with each other. Is she jealous of your relationship with Asta? Damn. Maybe it's best to avoid bringing up Asta with her. Could be also one of the maintenance constructs. Okay, I was about to say we pressed that last, but that is the last one. Maintenance construct? You know, those magically animated suits of armor. Oh, she must have seen an arcane construct while she was exploring the refinery. Arcane constructs only perform the actions that they're ordered to do. And a construct at the Arcane refinery would only take orders from the administrator, Stefanik Dracogan. Unless you want to imply that Stefanik Dracogan ordered the construct to break the lock. May I remind the prosecution that constructs are prone to error and misinterpretation of their orders. Perhaps this construct accidentally broke the lock while carrying out its usual orders. The Inquisition found no evidence of physical tampering on the lock. And even if they had, the security system would have alerted the moment this happened. Well, I guess we have a lot of contradicting statements to work with this time. Yeah, I need to find a contradiction that's not so readily apparent. I feel like the contradiction is very readily apparent, but go off, King. One that's not apparent? There's another contradiction in her testimony? I'm not sure, but I can't help but feel like she said something that doesn't fit with what we know already. Ignore the list of suspects and focus on the other details. She observed a lot that day, so something must be off with her observations. Now what should be wrong and then I'm just gonna eat shit? Objection! Wait, that can't be right, can it? Rika, you said that you saw a maintenance construct inside the refinery building. Are you sure that it was an arcane construct? Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on them in the Von Sanctus catalogs. But they're not available to the public yet. He is such an idiot. Why would Von Sanctus do this? Why would he use an arcane construct nobody can, like, purchase? When you saw this arcane construct, what was it doing? I'm not exactly sure. But it looked like it was doing maintenance on the machines. Maintenance on the machines? But it shouldn't have been there in the first place. What was it doing there? And more importantly, who sent it there? Who do you think, Tyrion? Where are you going with this, Mr. Cuthbert? As I've said before, an arcane construct owned by the defendant wouldn't have disabled the lock. I agree, a construct owned by my client wouldn't have done that. But arcane constructs are extremely rare and not available to the general public yet. Furthermore, they are only produced and sold by Font Sanctus Industries. Lloyd Font Sanctus personally sold several products to the Dracagon Trading Company. However, when offered the opportunity to purchase his arcane constructs, my client turned him down. What? My client disliked the construct's flawed intelligence. He didn't want them working with the refinery. He turned down Lord Font Sanctus's offer in favor of utilizing human labor. Wait, then why did I see a construct there? Exactly. If my client did not own any constructs, why did the witness see one there? Or to phrase this question differently, who sent that construct there? Who? Why would anyone send an arcane construct into the refinery? First, let's consider the rarity of the arcane constructs. They are highly experimental and not available to the public. With all of these elements in mind, only one person in the city of Oronex could have done this. Wait, you can't possibly mean... I do, Miss Stillwood. Who sent the arcane construct? Few individuals had access to an arcane construct. And even fewer had the ability to disable the locked door without alerting the security system. It's a... wait, Professor, right? You. Tyrion. Oh, right, Akron. So true, actually. You know what? It was so wrong. Damn. Only one individual could have done everything that I described. Lord Font Sanctus, the noble lord of Oronex. Because he's an idiot. You can't be serious. Are you accusing Lord Font Sanctus of illegally and sending a construct into the Arcane refinery? What possible reason would he have to do that? When Rika saw the construct, she said that it was working on the machines. But that construct was sent by Font Sanctus. It didn't actually work for Dracagon. Wait, could that mean... Rika, when you saw the construct in the refinery, was it carrying anything? Yeah, actually. It was carrying a large cylindrical machine, and it looked pretty heavy. Like it would normally need to be held by two people? Yeah, how did you know? It all makes sense now. Font Sanctus has been far too aggressive in pushing these charges. It wasn't because he was desperate to get rid of Dracagon. It was because he needed to cover up what actually happened. Mr. Cuthbert, where are you going with this? You see, Your Honor, the tool that the witness saw this construct carrying wasn't just any tool. It was a rod of mending, an artificial tool that channels transmutation magic. Transmutation magic? As in, magic that could be used to weaken and sabotage parts of the refinery. No, I seriously accusing... Your Honor, Lloyd Font Sanctus sent a construct into the Arcane refinery to sabotage it. In other words, Lloyd Font Sanctus is responsible for that guardrail breaking. Oh no. I think that's enough of you, you upstart commoner! Uh-oh. Also, very dramatic sound effects. I love how we got the very dramatic sound effects and then it just cuts to him. That's very funny. The judge really needs to stop these guys from just barging onto the set. But that's how they do it, right? To be fair, who's going to stop a noble from a fellow family? I've had enough of these blatant accusations. If you want to sling mud at my name, you will do it to me directly. Lord Font Sanctus, I would highly advise against doing this. Please, do you think I'm like that fool Pierce? The defense's theory is laughable, and I have several pieces of evidence that I can easily prove my innocence. I say while I'm very frightened. He has a good poker face, but the eye is telling you that he's a little desperate. Very well. If the defense wishes to accuse you, I see no harm in allowing you to defend yourself. The court would very much like to hear your testimony on the matter. Well, rip to him. It is possible to order a construct to complete it. It is possible to order a construct to complete a complex list of tasks, but doing so is ill-advised. I'm sure you observed this within the Nightgrave trial. Constructs are extremely prone to error when completing a long list of tasks. According to the defense, the saboteur stole a rod of mending and used it to sabotage very specific sections of the refinery. I would never trust a construct to discreetly complete such an intricate set of tasks unsupervised. And before you ask, I was miles away from the refinery at the time of the accident. I have several associates who can confirm this alibi. Therefore, I have no way of observing this construct from afar, nor did I have any way to communicate with it. That actually makes a lot of sense. Damn. The Nightcraft trial revealed the risks of ordering a construct to commit a crime. But nevertheless, Rika saw a construct at the refinery that day. That's indisputable. He definitely gave the construct a complex list of tasks to sabotage the refinery. And that raises one question. How did he account for the construct's error-prone logic? Maybe Justin actually was, like, bought by him and he was, like, the one babysitting the construct. Is that not a massive flaw in the construct's design? Artificially, it can only do so much. It's difficult enough to create magical items that respond to verbal commands. But our magic is still not advanced enough to replicate the common sense of a living creature. The Arcane construct is still a marvelous invention. You merely need to supervise them if you give them complex tasks. But regardless, he admitted that it is possible. Yes, but... no. Are you referring to what happened with the Theodore Redmond's construct? I am. It goes without saying that the construct weren't designed to aid and abet murder, but they also weren't designed to carry out such long lists of tasks unsupervised. A lot of Redmond's orders fall well outside of the construct's intended usage. He ordered to transport a human body from one point to another, and he even ordered to play audio to make itself look like a person. I'm sure you know how that ended. That's right, the construct encountered unforeseen circumstances and failed to complete its tasks. But as the construct's creator, Consunctus knew that such circumstances would be unavoidable. So how did they get around that? That's correct. As the chairman of Consunctus Industries, you would have the resources and know-how to use it in such a way. Yes, I suppose I would. But you forget that I couldn't have been there personally. Perhaps you were desperate enough to take a chance like that. Please, I'll admit that I find Drakigan to be a nuisance to my holdings, but I was hardly in a position to resort to such desperate tactics. That does make sense. He suppose that he was never planning for things to come back to him. If Celeste hadn't cast detect magic, no one would have known that someone used magic within the refinery. It's actually, you know what, it is kind of like weird how they never like tested for magic, even though it was literally at a magic refinery. So you could have, like, even if nobody used magic, they could have like at least assumed someone could have used like a magic, an artificery for the murder, right? Like nobody checked for that, really. And I suppose you wouldn't mind having these associates testify before the court. Lord von Sanctus was discussing the blockade being put around the city. Seward, I won't go into detail about what they discussed, but the King's Guard, City Watch, Arcane Inquisition, and myself were present. We can all confirm that he was present at the meeting, although his behavior was quite erratic that day. Ugh, how could I not? You people have no care for personal hygiene. It took my retainers hours to disinfect the area. Can we please stay on the subject? Right, anyways. I've had no way of observing this. What if the construct wasn't actually active? You could have had one of your servants don the construct as a disguise. It's extremely dangerous to wear the construct like a suit of armor. It almost always ends in severe injury and death in the worst case. Furthermore, the supposed construct would have needed to carry and use a rod of mending. I have many capable servants, but none of them have superhuman strength. Right, your theory only makes sense if the construct was the one carrying the rod. His arguments make a lot of sense, actually. You wouldn't trust the construct to sabotage the refinery alone, especially if there was such a big risk of getting caught. But regardless of what he says, Rika did see a construct there that day. He doubt that he'd take a risk like that. So he must have had a way to ensure that the construct completed its task correctly. He's a noble from a pillar family and is probably an accomplished mage. Could he have used that somehow? So, probably this one, right? I mean, we know that, We know that, what's his name? Asta has this one. Does he have conjuration magic? No, but on the other hand, this also doesn't mean anything. She has transmutation magic and she also used, like, illusion. So, what if we do that? Objection! Von Sanctus, you testified that there was no way for you to observe and communicate with the construct. Am I correct? Yes, I was at the meeting with Miss Steelwind for that entire day. Anyone there could have testified to that fact. I'm not disputing your so-called alibi. It's not as airtight as you might think. What are you talking about? I was there at the meeting, Mr. Cuthbert. Lord Von Sanctus may have been absent in mind, but he was there physically. Ugh. Absent in mind? So his attention wasn't focused on the meeting. Which means that his attention was somewhere else. I suppose you're correct, Miss Steelwind, but I still have one question for you, Lord Von Sanctus. Huh, and what would that be? Are you able to cast the send message spell? Oh! What? Miss Steelwind, your client may have been physically at the meeting, but his attention was somewhere else, wasn't it? Ugh. He could have used a combination of spells to view the construct during the meeting. And he could have used the send message spell to communicate with it over a large distance. If my claim is truly false, your claim should have no trouble disproving it with a spell companion. Ah, well. Von Sanctus? You appear to be hesitating, Von Sanctus. Can I assume that you do know how to cast send message? If so, that would punch a gigantic hole in your alibi. Steelwind, you were there, weren't you? My attention was fully there. I need you to cover for me. The idea that I was communicating with the construct is absurd. I'm afraid that I can't say that, Lord Von Sanctus. Damn, let's go. Steelwind? I did find it odd. Your attention appeared to be elsewhere, despite the gravity of our discussion. And I seem to recall you speaking under your breath the entire time. I'd always just assumed that you were muttering obscenities. But Mr. Cuthbert's explanation does seem possible. What are you saying? Aren't you obligated to defend me? I am obligated to represent you to the best of my ability. I am not obligated to forge your alibi for you. You little... Bonk. Get his ass. Lord Von Sanctus, I'm afraid the court needs an answer. Are you able to cast the send message spell? Fine, I'll admit it, okay? I am able to cast the send message spell. The send message. But that still doesn't prove anything. His voice betrays his hint of desperation. You have him right where you want him. Now is our opportunity to deal the final blow. So why do you feel so uneasy? There are still two details that don't sit well with you. When I looked to see what it was, I saw that Justin had tumbled over the guardrail of the walkway. Rika saw Justin fall over the guardrail, even though Von Sanctus sabotaged it. And please enlighten us, Mr. Cuthbert. How could both of the testimonies possibly be true? Well, I think there's only one possible explanation. Both Miss Tudor and Mr. Morrison saw someone fall off of the walkway. But the person that Miss Tudor saw and the person that Mr. Morrison saw were two different people. The second person that fell to the vat is still unaccounted for. Luckily, you didn't need to prove that this second person existed. But not having an explanation for Asta and Morrison's testimony still irks you. However, even if it's not a clean ending, there's only one way forward, and that's revealing Von Sanctus for the petty saboteur that he is. Oh yeah, here we go. Time to be bad at this one. Why did you hesitate so long to answer my question, Von Sanctus? You know very well why I hesitated. Why would I willingly give you evidence? Also, the music goes hard again, let's go. You clearly intend to use it against me. Regardless, this entirely disproves your alibi. You could have communicated with your construct at the meeting. By that logic, I could be the mastermind behind every crime that occurs at Orodax. Someone else could have sent that construct, I may have had the means to commit the crime, but there are plenty of other individuals that could have sent an arcane construct. Are we like being like a blockade that nobody could? No, that doesn't make sense. Why do we have? Oh, that was a food delivery. I was like, why do we have a fish? The brief interview. The accident. Trying to get first message or something. Noise. Anyone could have done that. That is a. Oh, goddamn! I remember him saying that Costa is like the only mage there, but I don't know if that's actually true or if I'm like misremembering that. He's planning to roll off there. I don't. That's just the meeting again. That was just his dog. There's a high enough time to look at delinquents. Anyone else in the walkway? What do we even say to that? Someone else could have sent that construct. Or are we saying that no one has a construct? I mean, Fun Sanctus, you of all people should know that the arcane constructs are not available to the public. Okay, I was thinking way more complicated than it needed to. When you attempted to sell these constructs to Dracagen, you promised him that he would be the first merchant at Ornex that would own one. Since he refused your offer, that would leave you as the only owner of arcane constructs in Ornex. That's... Well, I admit I may have not been that truthful when I made my sales pitch. So you're saying that you lied to my client? Oh, please. Every good businessman knows how to embellish the truth when making a sale. So the construct to other individuals. The truth is that I've sold those constructs to plenty of other individuals in Ornex. If only it would be too dangerous to sell it to anyone else. You still against displayed emotion? No. Frankly, Fun Sanctus, I find that hard to believe. After the Nightgriff trial, you must have been a lot more fearful about who you sold your constructs to. You only tried to sell your constructs to Dracagen so that you could control him. You wouldn't have done that otherwise. Is that so? Then why don't you prove it? No, Fun Sanctus, why don't you prove your statement? Show us any invoice that proves you made a sale to someone in Ornex. Oh, well, who says that the saboteur lived in Ornex when I made the sale, Are you serious? Ornex is a trading hub. Plenty of people come to and go from the city. So there could be someone who secretly entered Ornex. You're an idiot. You're so cornered. Any one of my customers could have secretly entered the city to carry out this sabotage. He's so cornered, man. Fun Sanctus, you might have been right under any other circumstance, but the King's Guard locked down the city on the day that accident occurred. No one except for a select few individuals could have left or entered the city. And due to the gravity of the situation, the King's Guard created profiles of everyone within the city. Why don't we cross-reference the records taken by the King's Guard with a list of individuals who you've sold constructs to? Oh, but I suppose from your reaction, that list would come up empty. So why don't you admit to your crimes, Fun Sanctus? Or do I have to drag the evidence into court myself? Wait, drag the evidence into court? Of course, how could I forget? What? No, the music stopped. Why don't you go ahead and do that, Mr. Cuthbert? Bring in your so-called evidence. I don't know where this confidence is coming from. Also, you just stopped my cool music, man. That's just rude, man. But we can easily detect the traces of divination and transmutation in the constructs you own. Assuming the construct still exists, that is. Wait, that's right. If you use a construct to commit a crime like this, you would have definitely disposed of it by now. even within the blockade. Ordax is a gigantic city. With his resources, he could have hidden it anywhere in the city. It would be a needle hidden in a town of haystacks. We still have the testimony of Musselrika Tudor. And I'm sure many other people saw that construct walking around the refinery. The common folk can hardly be trusted to recognize complex artificery. Without the actual construct, all you have are several unreliable witnesses. Tell me, Lady Steelman, can I be convicted of such a serious charge with such evidence? No, I suppose not. Damn it! Is he seriously going to get away with this? He can't keep getting away with this! Now you still have one trump card up your sleeve. If you could just find out where he disposed of the evidence, you might be able to direct the Inquisition there. Come on, focus on the thoughts, Tyrion. Activate the Empowered Eye. Do we really need to activate that for this? Your undignified glaring will do you no favors. Why isn't it working? Oh, the Eye of Horus is a powerful tool, Tyrion. But that's twice now that you've used the Empowered Eye to get out of a corner. If you keep relying on that one trick, you never grow as an attorney. One day, you'll find a witness that the Empowered Eye won't work on. Mr. Morrow was right. You've been relying on the Empowered Eye too much. From your silence, I assume that you have no way to rebut my claim. I suppose that it makes a checkmate, you upstart commoner. Honestly, I can't believe you'd resort to accusing me of manslaughter. What a crass and underhand tactic. But I suppose I wouldn't expect anything less from a charlatan like you. Damn it! No. Objection, someone. Oh. What the hell are you doing? Why didn't she say objection? Mean? What? That look on your face. Are you seriously giving up? I've seen you get out of plenty of situations like this. So why are you giving up this time? I'm sorry, Celeste, but I can't use my usual strategies. There's no way to find the evidence that we need. Seriously? Just use your brain. There's always a way, Tyrion. If your usual strategies aren't working, then you just need to do something different. She's right. You don't need to see directly into his mind to utilize your skills as an attorney. You may not be able to rely on the Eye of Horus this time, but you've always been able to rely on deductive reasoning. Well, it seems that you have no further questions for me, and you clearly don't have a shred of physical evidence to support your claims. I think I'll be taking my leave. I'm not quite done with you yet, Von Sanctus. Honestly, your desperation is almost pitiful. You should really learn to lose with dignity, Mr. Cuthbert. He's the last person you want to hear that from, I was about to say. Calm your mind and focus. You may not be able to read Von Sanctus's mind in the literal sense, but you can still extrapolate his plan and his actions. Let's explore my theory a little more and see for ourselves if there's no physical evidence. If you wanted to use a construct, you would have needed to maintain constant communication. So to prove that this communication occurred, you would need something that connects you to it. What piece of evidence would connect the murder to Von Sanctus? Sent message can normally only target a person, but arcane constructs probably don't count as people for the purposes of that spell. What piece of evidence would that leave behind? I'm good. Roll a fell into... Wait, that... Wait. And what are we trying to say? Now I'm confused. The object? That's just that. The Lord Von Sanctus stole? No, to plug in Von Sanctus, you need something that points directly to them. You're not sure what kind of magic used to view the construct during the sabotage, but you do know what he used to send message to communicate with. What kind of evidence would send message leave? What? I don't know. I don't know, that. I mean, I just want to say that the arcane construct like fell into the vat. That's what I want to say, but that's not what the game wants me to say. So I'm like completely on a different track. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Bro? Object? He stole? Did he steal something? What even happened anymore? Wait. Is it the object that... No, but what kind of magic he used to be? Do you know what he used to send message? Tag must be a person, another person is also conscious. They can use an object that is attuned. Oh, okay, Phoenix. Maybe read the sentence. An arcane construct isn't a person, so you must have used an object attuned to your magic to communicate with it. Miss Steelwind, if we were able to find that object, would that tie your client to the sabotage? Hypothetically, yes. The Inquisition has divination magic, and they can use it to detect if an object is attuned to a specific mage. Huh, good luck finding such evidence. If I did perform these acts, the remains could be anywhere in Auridax. I'm not so sure about that, Von Sanctus. Let's look at things from your perspective. Why would you do the things that you did that night? Knowing that will point us to where you ultimately hit the construct. Ugh. Your intention was to sabotage the refinery without anyone finding out that you did. So how would you dispose of the construct and the attuned item? How could Von Sanctus easily destroy the evidence? You need to hide and or destroy it so that no one will be able to find it. Wait, destroy? You know, as in like, throwing it into the vat of volatile liquid. Use the vat of volatile liquid. Oh, you suppose that makes sense. You found the remnants of the rod of mending in that too. Worms, yes. God, I love me some worm orange green. That's such a good emoji. But wouldn't that mean that the object is fully dissolved? Exactly, there would be no physical evidence for you to find. That's not necessarily true. You threw the rod of mending into the vat, and that didn't fully dissolve. What? The rockets neutralized the liquid immediately after Justin fell into the vat. What? Neutralizing that liquid would have rendered it unsalvageable and useless. Doing that would have cost Draken a small fortune. Unlike you, Von Sanctus, my client values the life of his workers over his profits. Yikes, man. Got him. Got his ass. And because of that, the Inquisition was able to find pieces of bone matter and metal within the vat. Wait, the rod didn't fully dissolve. This means that it was thrown into the vat around the same time that Justin fell into it. You wouldn't have thrown the rod into the vat until after you were done with your sabotage. And if you wanted to destroy the rod, you would have destroyed all of the evidence that you needed to get rid of. What piece of evidence would Von Sanctus also dispose of? Is there anything else that Von Sanctus would have needed to get rid of? Are we serious about this? You would also have destroyed the arcane construct itself. And that's ridiculous. Lady Steelwind, why aren't you? I told you before, didn't I? I will defend you to the best of my ability, but I will not fabricate an alibi for you. You must have ordered the construct to throw itself into the vat to hide any traces of your sabotage. A machine resembling a human threw itself into the vat. This means that anyone looking at the walkway would have seen this. And that's it! The arcane construct was the second person that Esther and Morrison saw fall into the vat. That's why we didn't find organic matter from anyone other than Justin in there. The second body that Esther and Morrison saw was actually an arcane construct. How are you? Wait, Rika was sure that she saw Justin fall off of the walkway. After she notified Asa and Morrison, they saw the construct break the guardrail and fall into the van. Wouldn't that mean that the construct disposed of itself after Justin and Wei fell off of the walkway? Why would you order it to do that? Because it never happened! Your logic is flawed! He's getting stressed out. Maybe you should try using the Empowered Eye. I was about to say, do we really need that? No, you don't need it this time. You're so close to figuring this out. You can feel it. So think. If he was observing the construct using magic, he must have seen Justin fall. And for some reason, he reacted by sabotaging the guardrail. Why did Van Sanctus sabotage the guardrail? Why would he ignore seeing that happen? Unless he did all of this because he saw Justin fall. Van Sanctus wanted to look like nothing. Like an accident. No, when that's the walkway and instead of running away, he ordered the concert to the break. God, what would you do? Wait, I'm an idiot. Wait. Yeah, just make the sabotage look like an accident. Yeah, that makes sense. It's because you wanted it to look like an accident. Which means that it wasn't actually an accident. Oh, no, you're accusing me of intentionally murdering the victim? Why would I ever do that? You said yourself, my goal was sabotage. Committing murder would have brought unnecessary attention to what I'd done. But those constructs do have a habit of shoving people that are in their way. What if the construct pushed Justin out of the way, causing him to fall over the edge of the guardrail? He's figuring out everything that happened from just a few clues? He accidentally sabotaged it. Like, whoops, Your Honor, I didn't mean to sabotage it. It was an accident. Hey, I didn't see you there. It was just walk past him. Acknowledged. What? Wait, didn't it just... Hey, watch it, quit shoving me. Wait, whoa. Holy crap, pull me up. I can't hold on for much longer. Ah, you idiot. What are you doing? What? Grab his arm and pull him up. Acknowledged. Ugh. Ah, my hand! What the hell are you doing? Your grip is too tight. Stop that. Acknowledged. Ah! Wait, I can still... Okay, that was actual incompetence, man. Yikes. It may have been unintentional, but either way, you would have been at fault for Justin's death, not my client. And if the construct fell in after Justin, your attuned object must be somewhere in the neutralized liquid. No, it's even better than that. Constructs are made from a specific medical alloy, aren't they? Repent. Yeah, I mean, we know the fella died like a few seconds after that, dissolving in fucking volatile liquid. But I feel like losing his hand before that was unnecessary, man. Like, that poor guy. He just had a very bad day, man. I'm sure with a few divination spells we could identify the metal shards from the construct and your arcane focus. Each and every one of those pieces of evidence points directly at you, Von Sanctus. You petulant little upstart! And that's checkmate, Von Sanctus. Damn, we got him! Why don't you save us a little time, Von Sanctus? Admit to what you did. And while you're at it, drop your false allegations against my client. I have nothing to admit to, nor do I have anything to apologize for. Of course not. You're completely blameless, right? Do you think you've achieved victory here today? No. Dissidents like you and Dracogen are absolutely deluded. Each and every breath you take only throws Wyvern further into chaos. You talk about these commoners as if they have even a fraction of the power that you have. Lady Steward, you need to see reason. They lack awareness of the power they truly have. What? These people have infected you and His Majesty with these idealistic delusions. I implore both of you to see reality for what it is. No, Von Sanctus. The true reality is that people like you become threatened when we challenge your power. what we want to say is eat the rich. You all speak about the rights of the individual. You speak as if each and every one of you wouldn't stab each other in the back the moment that it benefited yourselves. You may hate the nobility. You may curse, scream, and blame us for all your little problems. But the truth is that you need us. You need us to direct and lead you. You need us to maintain the fragile order that holds your peaceful little lives together. You talk about protecting the common folk from themselves. But the truth is that your actions led to the death of an innocent man. That is the only truth that matters. The defense has no further questions for the witness. He is dismissed. Very well. Damn. We did it, Tyrion. And we even caught another murderer in the process. Oh yeah, I was like, wait, wasn't my not guilty verdict? But you know what? It actually makes sense. We weren't even accused of murder. So, I mean, I guess we could have gotten a not guilty verdict for not causing the accident, right? Or not being negligent, right? Yeah, we couldn't get the case officially dismissed today. But it's pretty much inevitable that the evidence that we brought in today. Actually, it probably won't even reach that point. I've advised Lord von Sanctus to drop the suit entirely. Word has already spread regarding the evidence that he brought forward. At this point, prolonging the trial would just harm his public image even more. That's great! Now we can build a case against him for Justin's death! About that, I'll probably be forced to rescue myself from any charges brought against him. What? Why? It's because you're a representative in the suit, isn't it? It would be considered a conflict of interest to prosecute him yourself. Even though you're probably the only prosecutor that would convict him successfully. You're correct. As the head of one of the Pillar families, he has the justices dancing in the palm of his hand. He will definitely be quietly and swiftly acquitted. I would have never agreed to represent him if I had known this. I'm truly sorry. Damn it, he must have had this planned all along. Now, is he seriously going to get away with this? I wouldn't be so sure about that. Dracogan. He may be acquitted in the legal sense, but the court of public opinion is a different thing entirely. What do you mean? You brought forward a myriad of evidence against him, and I'm sure everyone in the gallery saw it too. Von Sanctus's power relies on his public image. And you quite handily tore down that facade. He may walk free, but his power and ideals have taken a great blow. But is that seriously all we can do? His actions and recklessness resulted in the death of Justin Way. He should be punished with the letter of the law. You're not wrong, Mr. Cuthbert. But sometimes we must take the victories that we can get. She's probably right. There's still one thing that's nagging at me. Oh, and what's that? Why was your safe unlocked if nothing was stolen? If Justin had gotten into your safe, he would have taken your gold with it. It wouldn't still be there. Considering that nothing is missing, I'd rather leave it at that. Really? Justin was a good man. I'd rather not taint anyone's memory of him, especially Monster Rica's. Right, she was pretty upset about the accusations. Nothing was taken, so no harm was done in that regard. I suppose so. Damn, so that really was a red herring, huh? But I can't help but wonder what actually happened. Episode end. The Origins of Horus, Case 3 complete. God damn. He should have a cool voice, but can I do any cool voices? Like, at least his character design is cool. It just makes no damn sense to me. The kid successfully robbed the guy days ago. No one saw him. No one even suspected it. But then he breaks into that place again. All so he could put back the stolen gold. Does this make any sense to you, Eris? Oh god, no. No. Not her. Perhaps he felt remorse for his actions, father. Oh no. Not everyone can betray the people they love so easily. And if that's true, I feel like there's a sense of tragic beauty to it all. If he had never tried to do the right thing, he would have never encountered the concert in the first place. He wouldn't have paid his debt and he would still have his life. It's true what they say. No good deed goes unpunished. It's a shame about the gold, though. I think we've more than made a profit today. Uh-oh. I, for one, am happy to have claimed a boatload of tithe today. Okay. That was creepy. Do we have the next... Yeah. Do we have the next case? Hello? Oh. There we go. Oh. We got it. Hi, Skylight the Autobot. You're joining it. I mean, I was about to say the end, but... I mean, I guess we can... Oh god. Well... It truly be a robot. I mean... But she returns. I mean, honestly, she looks actually kind of good in this outfit. I hate to admit it. She's a brat, but she does look good in that outfit. But, anyway. I think we can, like, start it at least, like, do a little bit of the, you know, of the day, you know, the investigation or whatever. I'm a Transformers fan. I believe that. Up until now, we've been following the story of Tyrion Cuthbert. We've experienced the world through his eyes and fought for justice through his soul. But this time, why don't we start from the perspective of another? Is it for severed ties? Oh. I can't believe Cuthbert read the client's mind without asking. It's starting to become a problem. It's becoming more and more reckless with each passing year. I wish Frey was still alive. She would know what to do. She made it look so effortless, and he loved her. Would he have listened to her if she was still here? Oh. Wait, I thought that was... Oh. I guess... Is that the mother, then? She does look good. I'm not gonna lie, she does look good. I do like the outfit and the hair. Like the whole blue and white thing is like really cool. Also, it's interesting because now that we're playing as Tomorrow, I don't know if that's like, I mean, it's probably intentional, right? But now that we play as Tomorrow, we have like brackets and like the thoughts like in the text like box itself, and not like as an omniscient person just talk to us. So that's cool. Yeah, her hair is really cool. Also, kind of like the pale eyes go really well with this. I hope she's not evil. Like her daughter is a brat, but yeah, or her sister. I don't know. Maybe yeah, she's 23. Like it's probably her sister. What's her name? Beatrice? Am I being? I feel like I'm freaking out. I thought her name was different. Something else, Frega. Whatever. Is something the matter, Tomorrow? No, I was just thinking about something. Well, the trial's about to begin. I don't doubt your abilities, but I'd still appreciate it if you remain focused. All of our futures are at stake, after all. Of course, Miss Frega. Beatrice Frega, freelancer. I have a dark brown hair with red highlights. What about everyone else? Dark brown hair with red highlights. That actually sounds really cool. I wish I had like dyed hair or like highlights, but I don't know. I don't think I could wear that. Beatrice takes a deep breath before she claps her hands together. What's wrong? Nothing. It's just the ritual that I use to calm myself. Right. I'd almost forgotten about that. But more importantly... Oh, God damn it! What are you doing here? That's my question. My father sent me to guide Beatrice through the quarters. It's a new environment for her, and we're both worried about her condition. I still can't. Oh god, I hate that all three characters have very similar voices, but like in a slightly different register. And oh god, switching between those is like really hard. I still can't believe you were the boss's daughter this entire time. You're a boss? What? Why didn't you say anything at the academy? Knowing my true identity would have caused friction with your son, wouldn't it? He's not my... Anyways, I suppose I understand why you stay quiet. But I still don't appreciate being kept in the dark about this. Ah, speak of the devil. We spot Cuthbert and McCoy walking into the courtroom with the other members of the gallery. McCoy spots you and gives a friendly yet awkward smile. However, Cuthbert ignores you entirely and walks silently into the courtroom. Parental trouble? We've had an argument earlier. It's nothing to worry about. If you say so. You... No, the omniscient text boxes are bad. You are worried about what he saw in Beatrice's mind, though. He's always been a good kid, but his idealistic sense of justice clouds his judgment sometimes. I just had a fake sneeze. I thought I had a sneeze and then I didn't. And now my nose is like tingling. I just hope that he's not planning to do anything reckless. The trial's about to begin. Even more characters with similar voices. Do you really have the time to be making small talk here? Prosecutor Steel approaches the three of you. But she appears to be accompanied by someone else. What voice did I give him? Nightgrave? Is that you? What are you doing here? Well, he's accompanying me as an aide for this case. I see. So I assume you'll be prosecuting. Of course. I would never pass up the opportunity to face the infamous Ruby Tamora. Really? If I recall correctly, you haven't even beaten Tyrion once so far. She does not like that. Miss Silwood, don't strain yourself. What's that look for, Beatrice? You almost look surprised to see me here. Considering the circumstances, I thought you might rescue yourself. I am more than capable of being objective, especially for a case of this much importance. Well, I hope your mind is as strong as you think it is. Miss Stewart, please calm down. Oh, I love a good reunion. Man, this is just killing me. Why is she my part of wrong? Court is now in session for the trial of Beatrice Frege. Miss Stewart, is the prosecution ready? Miss Stewart? Oh, of course. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. And the defense is also ready, Your Honor. Something seems off about her today. Is there a personal attachment to this case distracting her? Very well. Let's begin the proceedings. I didn't expect us to go straight into court, but you know what? I'm not complaining. Prosecutor Steelwood, could you please list the charges? Your Honor, the defendant is charged with first-degree murder and grand theft. Otto. As many of you know, Beatrice Frege is the formerly missing daughter of the now late William Frege. Who needs evidence anyway? So true. Wait, do we have any evidence? Yeah, right, we don't. We don't have anything. 33. Is she? Okay, so wait, he's 6. There were 16. You know what? Actually, maybe I just forgot her first name, and this is actually literally the game. The girl from the second case. Because I thought, because she looks so different. Maybe because she's more down to earth or like more like depressed or something. But like he's here and like I assumed this would be in the past, but this is like literally like the present, right? And the victim of the murder is William Frege himself. Yes, I'm well aware of that. The people of Wyvern will certainly mourn the loss of House Frega's head. Please, the only people mourning him are the banking house's shareholders. But anyways, did you also say that the defendant is accused of Grand Theft Auto? I'm sorry. Or am I? Yes, Your Honor. The crime took place during the Lord's Ball, an event that was hosted in Frega Manor yesterday evening. The Haraldston Hall of History had a gallery display within the manor. They were showcasing several magical artifacts donated to the Wyvern Guard Historical Society. One of these items was the Sword of Spell Eating, a magical artifact that allows the wielder to nullify magical effects. Sword of Spell Eating, yum. Why does this look like... this look like... You... Okay. Please don't take this as criticism, okay? I know this is an indie game and they don't have a lot of resources, but like, this looks like you took a PNG of a normal sword, and you know when you have like in photo editing software, where you just have like the tonal curve of like the colors, and you just put the red all the way up and all the others all the way down. This is literally what it looks like. And this is not meant to be mean, but it just does look like that. The Sword of Spell Eating is an ancient artifact. When wielded by a creature, that creature and anything connected to them, physically or magically, are immune to all harmful magical effects. Legends say that it was forged through a blood contract between a mage and a demon. The prosecution believed that the defendant stole this item. She then used it to nullify the magical lock on the victim's study. After breaking into the study, she attacked the victim and slashed her throat open using a letter opener. Why not the sword? He died of blood loss shortly after. Why he look like that? Autopsy report: William Frega died at 3:12 a.m. Cause of death was blood loss after a throat was slashed open. Both carotid arteries were severed, meaning that death must have followed mere seconds after the wound was inflicted. Body shows several scratch marks on the face and back. Traces of illusion magic were also found on the body. Interesting. I see, but what possible motive would the defendant have to murder her own father? William Frega and his daughter were not close. Saying that they had a strained relationship would be an understatement. In fact, 5 years prior to the murder, Beatrice abandoned and fled her home. She went into hiding and did not contact any of her friends or family. Her whereabouts were unknown until she suddenly contacted her father a week ago. Bam! I like that. My client left the Frega household because of her toxic relationship with her father. She wanted to create a life for herself that was free from his influence and abuse. I won't disagree with their claims, but that just highlights how desperate the defendant must have been. She had clearly fallen on hard times and begrudgingly contacted her father for financial aid. I can't possibly understand why they would schedule this meeting during the Lord's Ball, but nevertheless, several witnesses did see her that night, and the same witnesses saw her storming out of her father's study in anger. Her father must have refused her requests for gold, so she decided to murder him to claim his inheritance. Luckily, I was prepared for this in advance. Yes, they're playing right into our hands. The inheritance? Beatrice Frega fled from her family 5 years ago and went into hiding. In retaliation, William Frega told Miriam Frega that he would remove Beatrice from his will. As a result, she wouldn't receive any inheritance after his death. Right, her name was Miriam, right? That was the brat. So this is a different character. Oh no, I feel so bad. But yeah, good. As per your agreement, this testimony will be confirmed by Miriam Frega in court. What you're saying is all conjecture, Sylvan. You don't have any evidence or testimony that confirms what they spoke about. Yes, I'm well aware that you and your client have refused to tell us what was discussed during that meeting. But as long as you both stay silent, my claims are plausible. That's price good. Be honest, Sylvan. Do you seriously think that my client committed these crimes in spite of her condition? Condition? What do you mean by that, Mr. Mora? Why don't you tell him, Miss Sewin? Tell the court about my client's disability. Your Honor, Beatrice Frigga is considered legally disabled. However, legally disabled? That's a convenient way of putting it, Sewin. Is she blind? My client isn't just legally disabled. She's completely blind. That does explain the eyes. Completely blind? Is this true? We have several medical documents and testimony from several surgeons attesting to that fact. Apologizes flashbacks. Oh yeah. Yeah, that case. My client is unable to see anything. Beatrice Frigga is completely blind. She is unable to see anything through her eyes. This has been verified through several medical reports and qualified... Sure... That's not how you... What? Chiro... Is that a word? Chirurg... Is that supposed to say... I'm literally googling this. I'm like... Is that actually a word? Chirurgeons? Or is that just a different spelling of surgeon? Chirogen? Chirogen? Never seen that word in my life, but you know what? That's not surprising, honestly. What is the meaning of this, Miss Sewin? And I can't work for surgeon. Okay, that's crazy. How did I... Like, I mean... You guys do know that I get most of my knowledge of the English language from, like, playing video games and watching anime, right? So, like, I feel like I would have had to have heard that word at some point. But for some reason, I always dodged that word. I know so many, like, old archaic words from, like, you know, games and anime, but yeah, I did not know that one. Do you expect me to believe that a blind woman performed any of the acts you're accusing her of? I'm glad you also see how ridiculous these claims are, Your Honor. If the court would just let me elaborate. So, and the prosecution's first charge is grand theft auto. My client would have needed to break into a magically secured display case. Performing such an act would have been a difficult task for anyone, much less my client. And the second charge is first-degree murder. My client would have needed to use the sort of spell eating on the log leading to the victim's study. Then she would have needed to grab a letter opener, overpower the victim, and deliver a precise and fatal blow to the victim's neck. Does any of that sound like a reasonable theory, Your Honor? I am compelled to agree with you, Mr. Mora. It all sounds quite ludicrous, to be perfectly honest. This is just awful. The servants are clearly just taking the Friggas now that their head is deceased.
Objection!
Uh-oh, she's objecting. Also, why is Will her, like, partner anyway? Like, how did that happen? Enough! Your Honor, the court has not seen the evidence that supports this case. Nor have you listened to the Inquisition's testimony regarding the investigation. Until you have done so, you are in no position to pass judgment. Very well, Miss Sewin. I suppose you have a point. Guess the young lady has some claws after all. But it doesn't matter. The case against Beatrice is questionable at best. Frankly, it's surprising that Sewin even went through with this. It's only a matter of time before the judge sees things either way. I guess I don't need to read the black text in her voice. It's a bit odd. But anyway. To begin, the prosecution would like to call Commander Orem White to the stand. Oh, not him again. Commander White, please testify to the court about the Inquisition's findings. Right. Oh god, I need water for this. For his voice, man, I need water. You know what? It could also be like really mean. Like, this is actually a good stopping point, you know? Or I guess you could also just press everything. Like, we only have like 5 minutes left, right? Let's press, or at least hear his testimony, then we can press a bit, and then we can just stop. We didn't want to cause panic after the sword was stolen, so we activated the manor silent security system. It put an anti-magic field over the entire manor. We did a search of the house, and we found the stolen sword in the defendant's bedroom. Just one more cross-examination. Oh, you mean that's when the investigation starts? Or just... I should just do that. It didn't look like she was going to run, and Crown Prince Esther told us to stand down, so we just kept a close eye on her. Nah. Okay. Yeah, it was like, this feels like a court-only case, so I was like, what? But sure, fine. Like when a 4-player says just more round. True. William Frege was in a bad mood that night, so he'd already locked himself inside his study. But an hour later, we entered the study and found him lying dead in a pool of blood. The lock was still engaged, and no one teleported in. The pervert must have temporarily disabled the lock using the sword of spell eating. We have testimonies that say that the defendant was seriously in debt. She must have murdered the victim to get part of his inheritance. I mean, we can already disprove that. The case against Beatrice is just as you predicted. And you already have a countermeasure to disprove the existence of any motive. All you have to do is present that to the court. I'm just gonna do the cross-examination anyway. Because we got I mean, Akron, I can't just end the stream 2 minutes early, right? That's just rude. That's not what he came for. Wait, doesn't the sword make the wielder immune to magical effects? An anti-magic field would have only disempowered everyone except the thief. Yeah, well, we didn't know what the sword could do until after the investigation. Up until then, we thought it was just a dusty old artifact. That seems pretty negligent. Are you sure you're qualified for your position, Arm? The situation was unprecedented for everyone involved. One could hardly expect an ancient artifact to have magical capabilities. Anyways, what did you do after the theft, Commander? We did search the house, but we found this stolen sword in the defendant's bedroom. That's how we knew it was her. Coming from this, I only do 30 minutes episode and proceed saving. Listen, Acheron, you know what's funny? Okay, one thing. I did say I wanted to make 45-minute episodes, right? That was my part time, not 30. 30 was during the Fire Emblem era. And I think I made it. Didn't I make it 45 minutes whenever I stopped doing weekly, daily uploads? I think whenever I did, switched over to the 3 parts a week, that's when I did 45. But I also kind of forgot that was my part time. Because mentally, whenever I record, I always plan in an hour. Because I don't want to be the parts that long, but it always happens that way. So I'm like, better plan the part, or better plan your own time like that, I feel like that may be part of it. Also, sometimes I just go right past a good stopping point. That happened to me with Zero Time Dilemma already. I was like, oh yeah, let me just finish the escape room, and then the cutscene afterwards was just so long, and I was like, wait, I didn't think it would be that long. Oh man. Yeah. That seems like a strange conclusion to jump to. My client hadn't stepped foot into the Frege Manor in years. After being gone for so long, her bedroom had to have been repurposed for something else. I'm not sure about the details, but one of the defendant's sisters refused to let the servants disturb that room. I guess she was hoping that her sister would come back one day. Laffy. Laffy. I'm going with Laffy, because that's funny. I didn't look like she was going to run. Crown Prince asked us to stand down, so we just kept a close eye on her. And why would the prince tell you to stand down, Wow. Crown Prince Esther knew the defendant well. He was confident that she wasn't going to flee the scene. Are you sure you just knew her that well? If I recall correctly, the prince is still very adamant about her innocence. The crown prince is vouching for the defendant? Is this true, Miss Steelwood? It is, Your. However, I believe that the evidence found throughout the investigation proves the contrary. Are you sure your judgment isn't simply being clouded by your jealousy? Your fiancé was previously engaged to my client, after all. Uh-oh, she's bringing out the tea. You're enjoying this a bit too much. Maybe. Yeah, we're gonna do one more statement. Did anyone see him enter the study? A few people. One of them was Leffy. Frick. I don't know why Leffy is just so funny to me. She said that she was really irritated that night, so she went into his study for some peace and quiet. I guess his meeting with the defendant put him in a bad mood. But if the manor was covered in an anti-magic field, how did he lock the door magically? I'm not sure how, but the locks in the manor aren't affected by anti-magic fields. How? The magical locks generate a smaller anti-magic field around themselves. Two fields cancel each other out. It's like multiplying two negative numbers together. I'm going to be honest. I have no understanding of these things. Is what she's saying true, Beatrice? Yes, overlapping anti-magical fields are a well-studied phenomenon. You'll just have to take our word for it. Okay. God damn it. It's only 3 more statements. 3 more. Then we can just go to the right statement and then I can continue on knowing what I did. Okay? Who was the person that discovered the body? The same person who saw him last. His daughter. Leffy Frigga. Poor Leffy. That must have been traumatizing for her. Did anyone else accompany Leffy when she happened upon the body? Yeah, supposedly. One of the servants got himself locked in a nearby storage closet. And he heard the violent attack through one of the events. When he finally got out, he told Leffy and they went into the study accompanied by some knights. Crazy. This sword is integral to the case against my client, so why is the description of its capabilities so vague? To be honest, the sword is magic, but it doesn't seem to behave like any spells we know about. And we can't identify its magic like we usually do with artificial devices. According to Lord Haraldson, its powers are demonic in nature. But if you ask me, it's all a bunch of hooey. Anyways, it's obvious that it doesn't follow the normal rules of magic. Wait, what? What is it, Mr. Mora? It's nothing. But it's watching from the gallery. They must have heard that too. Could the Eye of Horus have something to do with demons? No. Focus on quitting the clan first. You can write about Cuthbert later. Yeah, tomorrow's like looking at him in the audience is like, please, it's okay. Just gesturing with her hands wildly like, okay, don't do this. Either way, we've tested the sword's magic on similar locks. When used correctly, it is capable of disabling the lock on Lord Frigga's study. Okay. You have testimonies. Wouldn't an official record be more valid evidence? Mr. Mora, you and I both know that your client's creditors are not the type to keep such records. So, you're admitting that you're relying on hearsay? One could conclude that. But it doesn't matter if we can prove that this debt exists. The Frigga estate is unimaginably vast. There are no debt. That amount of wealth would be a tempting boon to any individual. She has a point. House Frigga owns all of the banking houses in Wyverngard. People can only dream of having that much power and wealth. The prosecutor's case against Beatrice is already really weak. You're not even sure why they bothered bringing this to trial in the first place. And you already have testimony from someone else that directly contradicts the commander's testimony. Once you present that to the court, the case is as good as yours. Okay, we're gonna go to the testimony. It was the last one, right? So if testimony that she was dead, she must have murdered. Wait. Oh, yeah, right. That actually the inheritance part. Okay. That's where we ended. See? Accurate only 5 minutes. Oh man. I need to save my game. Wait, that's... I mean, sure, why not? One save for stream. Yay, the kitty. Kitty is happy. And the goat. That's why he's the goat! Anyway, we're gonna go back to the title screen. They have like our chill music. And yeah, with that was a successful first streaming week stream, I guess. The next one is gonna be on Thursday. As I said, same time, hopefully. If it's later by like 5 or 10 minutes, please forgive me, but like I'm a slow eater. But anyway. And at least we got no technical issues this time, so that was cool. And yeah. See you guys on Thursday. Hope you had fun and